We had two Pomeranians. The boy, his name was Sherbert, and the girl, her name was Cashew. I'll put a picture next to this video so you can see them. And they were with us for 15 and 16 years. So we had Sherbert first. He was our first baby. And then our daughter came along, Shayla. And then we got Cashew, our next fur baby. And then Corey came along. So Sherbert and Shayla were together, and Corey and Cashew were, those were their dogs, the girls' dogs. And Sherbert, he loved Reiki. He absolutely loved it. When he got older, he got arthritis. He was on medication for his pain, etc. But anytime I turned my hands on and I just hold them out, he knew they were on. I don't know what he could see. But he'd hop on over and he'd just flop into my hands and fall asleep. He absolutely loved Reiki. But Cashew, on the other hand, she didn't like it because it just made her so hot. She'd huff and puff and get the shits. And the dirty look on her face, oh my gosh, you should have seen some of these looks that she used to give me. It was like, and then off she goes, moves to another place. Like, just don't. Okay. So if you get any animals like that don't like Reiki, just do a hands off or sending energy over distance. We'll cover this in second degree. Or place some crystals around your pets. Have a go with that if you're drawn to. Anyway, it came to the time when Sherbert was about to leave. And I remember that day we took the kids down to Movie World, Dream World. And when we're down there, I felt something. And I looked at Pete, my husband, and I said, "Did you feel that?" And he goes, "Yeah, something's off." And I thought, shit, I hope Sherbert's all right. Anyway, we came home later that afternoon. Shayla ran into the house to see Sherbert, as she had always done over all those years. Next minute, you just hear this big, he comes running out, and I'm thinking, oh shit, he's gone, and she's crying and everything. Big hug. I said, "Come on, let's go in." And we went in, and Sherbert had actually died in the dog biscuit bowl. Okay. And I'm laughing because Cashew, all she did was eat. So it's like Sherbert had the last laugh. Okay. So his body was on the dog biscuit bowl. Oh, puppy. And Cashew's standing there wagging her tail because she had no idea what had happened. And we came, and I took Sherbert out of the biscuit bowl and I started patting him. And then Corey comes up and she pats him. Pete's patting him. And I looked at Shay and I said, "You need to pat your dog, And she goes, "Oh, I don't want to touch him." And I said, "If you don't pat him now, you're going to regret it. Okay, this is how we're going to say goodbye. You don't have to, but it's nice to, And I think she was just scared at first and, well, obviously angry, of course. But then she put her hand on him and that was it. She wouldn't stop patting him. So we're just patting Sherbert and, sharing a few stories, etc. And then later on that day, Pete buried Sherbert down in the backyard. And that night, went to bed, had a dream that Sherbert was sitting on my chest. He was like this massive, like a lion with this big mane. You see the picture of him anyway. Just this, almighty being of knowingness. Okay. It was a very spiritual dog. He'd always sit out the back on the little hill and watch the sunset almost every night. And, I regret not sitting with him more, Anyway, Sherbert was on my chest and he said, "Be patient with Cashew because she doesn't understand." And I'm like, okay. And then off he went. So I got up the next morning, I told the family, and because Cashew, well, she's always been a French fry short of a Happy Meal, okay? So something was always missing there her whole life. But there was Cashew. Anyway, another year or two passed, and it was Cashew's turn. Everything in her organs and everything started stopping, okay? So we actually had to take her to the vet and have her put down because she was in so much pain. The kids were there. We were looking at Cash as she passed over. We brought her body home, wrapped her up because it was late, it was dark, and we put her body just in the laundry. It was all wrapped up, ready to be buried the next day. Anyway, I remember going to the kitchen getting dinner ready that night. And Cashew's spirit walks down the hallway like she's done 1,000 times before, and she's standing at the kitchen looking at me, just wagging, you know, because this is the dog that food was it. Food was everything. And I'm sensing her, I'm thinking, oh, Cash, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I tried to tell her, I said, Cashew, you need to go to the light, etc. But this is where Sherbert's words came in those few years earlier. Be patient with Cashew because she doesn't understand, you know. And it went on for about a week. Every time I was in the kitchen cooking something, Cashew would rock up, and I thought, I cannot do this. Even though we buried her body the very next day, she didn't know she had died. She didn't know she didn't have a body anymore. So I thought, right, I can't. I just can't deal with this. So I called my team. I called in Sherbert. And I said, Sherbert, can you please come and get Cashew and take her home? And he says, yes. And that was it. I thought, fine, let go. Okay. And I didn't see her again after that. So he came and he took her. He took her home. But I remember after Sherbert died, and we did bury him in the backyard, and I remember Cashew was she was sad. You know, her husband had gone, and he didn't come home again. And it was only the first time I had a message from Cashew. I remember her just sitting on the floor. Her head was down and she looked so sad. And I said to Pete, I said, look at Cashew. And we were watching her, and then she lifted her head up and she said, he's not coming back, is he? And I said, no, he's not, girl. This was just in our minds talk. And then she put her head back down again. But to be able to, and for me, I believe that this is Reiki working to be able to pass these kinds of messages on. So for me, Reiki has been an absolute blessing. It really has, to be able to have these conversations with, you know, pets that have made their way over the Rainbow Bridge. Oh my gosh. And now we have little baby Harley with us. So 5 months old when I was making this video. Oh God, fur babies, hey? Gotta love them. But by all means, yeah, if you've got any pets, tune into their energy and see what comes back for you.